Hello everybody. Welcome. So we got some fun stuff going on today. First off, let's talk about what we got going on for the stream today. So as many of you may know, I've been working on a drown farm, and we're getting very close to we're getting relatively close to having it finished up. So we're in the process of getting all the water in place. So that's what we're going to be mainly focusing on for this stream today. But like recent streams, just so everybody's aware, I am streaming while my son is taking a nap. So I'll be working on this until he wakes up. When that's going to be, I don't know. We will see for sure. But there it is. Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and jump right on in today and get working on filling in all the water in all of these massive glass tanks. So I think what I want to do is go from this side over, and then we'll go on to the other side. And we'll get as much as we can while my son is taking a nap. And, whoop, whoop, whoop. We got some spooky Halloween themed music in the background. If it gets too annoying, I may switch. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good today. I'm getting... Oh, hang on. Let's turn on my flashback recording for my video that I'm working on. Before I forget. So the goal here, so basically what I'm trying to do is fill in this with water so we get drowns to spawn. And then the quickest way that I found to do that is actually to fill in from the top every other spot, and then from the bottom we'll fill it in with kelp. So I built up all of the glass containers, and we just need to fill them all up with water, and then we can move on to the next spot in this farm. So, it's going to be a little bit of a grind. But one thing that is nice, I can pull water from the other tanks. Hang on. While I'm thinking about it, I think... Let me fix one thing on my YouTube stream. Much better. All right. Have this set up. We're moving now. So this project has been taking forever. Hang on. Is my... Okay, good. It's been quite a bit of a grind. So to build all of the glass, the whole area actually took like pretty much all week last week to do it. So just a little bit of a grind, that's for sure. Hang on, let me make sure I've got my YouTube chats up so I can see. Nitro Kitty Cat, why not do it with ice? So doing it with ice would work. The issue with doing it that way is placing for the whole thing. Doing it with ice would take way too long relatively. So I timed it out, placing layer after layer. One section took about 5 hours. So it takes about 2, maybe 3. Well, it's probably quicker with ice, but it probably takes about an hour-ish. Yeah, so I don't have to fill up the whole thing with kelp. It's just every other... Yeah, I could do it like stripes with kelp, but getting the ice takes longer than getting kelp. So I guess maybe doing stripes with ice would work okay, but I've already got all the kelp and everything set up. So that's what we're doing today. We're getting it all set up with the kelp. The one thing with the kelp is I have to go back and remove all the kelp. Yeah, but I already had a kelp farm. So, may not be the fastest way, but it's pretty effective. And then I can use bubble columns to I guess I'm faster than the bubble column though, bubble column forming. But I can use the bubble columns to set myself up. But yeah, I mean, ice would be a decent way. I just have to get ice. Would that work, bone mealing the kelp? Maybe I'll try that. I don't have any bone meal, but I've got a pretty good bone meal farm. Can you bone meal kelp past its grow limit though? That'd be the bigger question for me is, because bone meal only grows to 26. Can you bone meal kelp past 26? Down the game just a little bit. That's pretty loud. Yeah, I could try. I have a lot of bone meal. This is... It could work. The issue then is I'm just going to have way too much kelp. And then, once I have too much kelp, then it's gonna be inventory management issues, maybe? I don't know. This is working okay for now. But once this part's done, the rest of the farm is really straightforward. The only next annoying thing is going to be getting all the portals linked up properly. But that's not that difficult, it's just kind of annoying. Let's do right here. Whoops. See, I can just let the bubble column send me up. But yeah, I don't know if you can bone meal kelp past 26 its grow rate. But I mean, what is it? What is the saying? There's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't condone skinning cats, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't understand that saying. Who is actually going to be wanting to skin cats? Yeah, we'll see how long this fancy, spooky Halloween music. Get to these kelp. Woo. It's working okay. Yeah, this project has been a grind, like an insane grind. I spent a ton of time building out these. Okay, you can't go past the girl limit. What's up, Luan? Luan? I don't know how to... I'm gonna say your name wrong all the time. We're working on the drown farm again. We're on the last steps of the bulk. Actually, take a quick little sleep. It's going good. It's going good today. I've got all the glass tanks. We just need to fill everything with water. Let me actually mark these out so I don't... do that, yeah. Every other block. Yeah, so my son, he's asleep, so we're... It's the same deal. Stream it until he wakes up. So asking what this... So this farm... yeah, so this farm is for the copper ingots mainly, and that's why it's so big. Yes, there are trial chambers. Yes, trial chambers are an effective way to get copper ingots. But I like automating things. And this is an automatic way to get copper ingots where I can AFK with an auto clicker. I like automating things so much, just in general, not just Minecraft, but in real life, that I have a database for all of my recipes with all the ingredients. I should try modded. I've never been able to get into modded, but I do. There are some cool mods that you can automate stuff, but but yeah, I like automating things so much in general that I've got a Google Sheets database with all of my recipes. So when I choose the recipes I want to make for dinner before I go shopping, I just have to click through a drop-down arrow for the meals, and it'll automatically make me a list for me, so I don't have to figure out what stuff I need. So that's That's how I like just stuff in general. Before I was doing this, I'm actually gonna switch my my playlist here. But yeah, so before I was doing this, being stay-at-home dad and working towards like all the content creation stuff, I was an engineer, so I am all for automating. 90%. Okay, so 90% of fun in modded is automating and improving said automation. Yeah, I mean, I feel like vanilla Minecraft for a lot of stuff is that way now too. But yeah, I know there's like, what, the crate mod and some other mods that I think I would probably really like. I just haven't gotten to modded Minecraft very much. My roots in Minecraft is Bedrock, so all the Java modding and stuff is still pretty new to me. But I mean, yeah, this is realistically though, the amount of time that I've put into building this farm. So if this farm was in like a world that I knew I wasn't gonna be playing in for like basically as long as I ever play Minecraft. If this was in like an SMP that there's gonna be like seasons in the SMP or anything like that, I wouldn't be building a farm like this. It's not the most effective use of, but it's an effective use of time relatively because of trial chambers and stuff, right? But this is my forever world, so I'll be in this world literally forever. So I think investing some time in making a ridiculous farm like this is worth it. This is significantly faster than what I was doing previously, so. I mean, it's grindy. That's what all this is. Just grindy to get stuff done. Alright, let's take out these kelp. I think actually, I've got some more going. Although I did hear, and tridents might become more valuable in Java here pretty soon. Supposedly, so tridents, when they're thrown, they're just regular entities and eventually will despawn. They're not treated as projectiles the whole time. supposedly, what is going on? It's I heard from somebody. I don't know if it's true, but it'd be awesome if it's true. But they might be changing tridents so that when they're thrown, they're projectiles. So as long as they're loaded in, you could use them like in Bedrock and turn them into trident killers. That would be really nice. But I could dream. It's pretty quick, though. Alright, now I'm out. Myself. But yeah, this is also, it's gonna be a decent source of XP. Not like a crazy source of XP, but it's gonna be a decent source of XP too. So overall, I mean, yeah, there's probably other more effective uses or ways to get copper, but since I'm using this for a copper farm, it'll work. The issue with, and this is what I would tell people in the normal worlds. The issue with doing this for a copper farm is for copper, it's really not the amount of size that you need to put into like this to get it to be effective for a copper farm. For most people, it's not worth it. I guess the ice, I wouldn't have to do this. Hello, buddy. I mean, it's working. What is screwed up? Ooh, that's gonna be annoying. think it's, hang on. Right here. Hopefully this fixes it. Maybe it'll fix it. This one's the same way. Alright, we're getting there. Yeah, that fixed it. Alright. Something funky. What's going on there? Yeah, I don't know if this is faster. I could try it, but the issue is I have to go get ice, which I guess wouldn't be that big of a deal, except the thing is I don't know where the closest frozen ocean is. Something's funky in this one. Let's just make sure. Yeah, some funky stuff happened here. I thought that was a squid, but I guess it's a spider. Okay. Hey, what's up, Sportman? Yeah, I do remember you. How's it going? We're still working on my drowned farm, by the way. We're getting in all the water, and then the rest should be pretty straightforward after that. It's the last, like, really grindy task for the farm. Oh, I'm getting drowned. Never mind. Oh, maybe. Get my air bubbles back. Almost done with it. This is literally it's like I was saying, this is the last really grindy task, getting all the water in. Once all the water's in, I have to set up all the portal structure, like infrastructure on the top, and then set up some portals and a little bit of some infrastructure in the nether. And then after that, it's done. This, and then we'll fix what's going on with the other spot. But yeah, it took me quite a while to get all the glass frames built out, but they're done. We just need to get water in all of them. And then there's like a scaffolding one-way valve trick that I'm going to be using on top of where all the water's at. And then after that, some water streams to push the drowned into portals, and then a couple portals in the nether to send the drowned to basically to transport all the drowned to one spot, and then they get pushed into another portal. From that other portal, then they end up getting pushed to where the killing chamber is going to be, the killing portal chamber. So, it's coming along. It's very grindy. So it's going to be spawning drowned for copper. And then I'm going to end up using all that copper for a all the copper building blocks. I'm going to build a factory with auto crafters that's going to craft every single copper block in the game. And then at some point I'm probably going to set up an auto oxidizing farm for all the copper. Alright, let's get rid of all this kelp and move on to the next one. Perfect. Copper rare? Yeah, it's relatively rare, but... Whoop. That's why this farm is so big. So to have an effective drowned farm for copper, you need a massive drowned farm. So that's why this is so big. So to make the copper drop rates relatively good, it just needs to be huge. Maybe I'll stream for a decent time today. We'll see. My son seems like he doesn't want a nap. I'll give him a little bit. I just put him down. He should be wanting to nap. How am I going to get rid of the rotten flesh? Just auto, item filter setups that... So the idea of getting rid of the rotten flesh, you can set up water that pushes items over an item filter. And then I set up 0 filters for rotten flesh. And then have the rotten flesh just go and get burned in some fire or something. Same issue in my gold farm is I have the gold farm with the zombie pigments. I just have to burn up all the rotten flesh. do every other. Just to mark them. Sounds complicated. It's not that bad. So basically you just set up water streams and then you use like items like you have them push into like a chest or sea pickles or something. There's a couple different ways to do it, but you have it set up so the items get in between the water stream and the hoppers. And then when they're in between those, the hoppers can pick them up. And then the item filters are pretty straightforward. And they're not that difficult to set up. It's just a little bit of redstone signal strength to lock hoppers unless there's enough items in the hoppers. I mean, they can be a little tricky if you don't. But I've made so many different item filters that they're not that tricky anymore. The hard part, redstone. Why is this not? Oh, that's why. I mean, redstone can be tricky, but you just have to, my thing with redstone is you just learn a couple principles, right, from a tutorial. And then from that tutorial, then you can take those principles and apply it to other things you want to do. And then after that, it shouldn't be that tricky to do. That's how I've learned redstone, is that I'll watch a tutorial and be like, oh, okay, so that principle works for that specific thing, and I want to do something similar but in a different spot, so then I just take those things I learned from a tutorial and apply it to another area. So you can, like, just about with everything in life, like, there's tutorials for redstone stuff on YouTube, like, everywhere. Hey, no. I want to go down. But it's all just depends on your own skill level, how you learn and stuff. Yeah, so I like the redstone tutorials that actually explain the redstone principles, as opposed to there's a lot of tutorials out there that are like, put this block here and put that block there and put that block there. And then there's a lot of tutorials that are like, this is why this works. I like the tutorials that are more like, this is why this works, as opposed to the tutorials that are, here's a step-by-step way to how to do it, and I'm not going to explain how the principles behind it work. I like the ones that explain everything, the principles and stuff. Because then you can learn the principles and then you don't have to watch tutorials again. So this drowned farm, I actually watched one of those. Not a step-by-step, it was a... This is how the principles work. And then I built this how I wanted to build it, and not exactly how that video had theirs built. See, maybe he's still asleep. We'll see. We'll see if my son's going to sleep. See if I can stream for longer, or if he's going to wake up. But I mean, this whole process is more. It's more grindy than difficult. So we're just grinding to get this done, and then once it's done, it's gonna be really, really cool. Keep doing this. There we go. I got the right spot. Alright, so we're making good progress. I'm gonna sleep here. Stuff is gonna spawn and potentially slow me down. It's already spawning. Oh, alright, well... Seems like my son is refusing his nap today, so I'm gonna get this section done, and if he doesn't go to sleep by the time the section's done, we're probably gonna have to end the stream early, which is kind of sucks, but that's what happens. My priority of taking care of my son comes first. It's just life. But I want to get this section complete first, because he's fine, but I don't want to leave him crying. He's not really crying, but standing up in his crib waiting for me to grab him for too long. He doesn't nap at all. So. Kelp. I'm just bouncing around, bouncing in the bubbles. This process works pretty well though. Creating the bubble column, setting myself up so I don't have to swim up. I just have to press once I'm in the right spot, I just have to press left click to put down the kelp. Keeps it pretty brainless. Pretty effective though. This method is a lot better than when I was doing the first one, which was putting down water each layer after each other using buckets. This is a lot faster. Significantly faster. I'm wondering though, with this drowned farm, if once the Mounts of Mayhem drop comes out, and they're adding the Zombie Nautilus, I wonder if that's gonna affect drown spawns, and if that's gonna make this farm not as good, or if it's gonna make it better. I'm curious about that. I guess I could load my creative world in a snapshot and see. Because I designed this farm in creative first, so I wonder if there's a... I could probably test it. Alright, almost done with this one, and it seems like my son's not napping, so... Probably gonna have to end stream significantly earlier today than I wanted to. But that's okay. Maybe. No, he's not. I don't know what's going on with him. I just want a nap. But 'tis the life of a parent with a toddler. Children don't want to nap. And then you have to tend to them and take care of them. All right. But I will be streaming again, depending on my son's nap, of course. That is the one problem with streaming in the afternoons, is he usually sleeps really well at night. But streaming in the afternoons is hit or miss a little bit. I'm gonna get this one done. He's fine for just a couple more minutes. After this, we only have 6 more tanks to fill up. And we're almost done with this one. So one tank takes about, seems like about an hour. So it's gonna take me about 6 hours more for this portion of the farm, and then the next portion is probably gonna take a couple hours. So probably about 8 more hours to complete this farm. Not too bad. That's relatively a small amount. Alright, last couple here. Last couple. This is when it gets satisfying. The whole tank's about to be filled up. Help if I press the right button. Last one. And then we got 6 more tanks to go. Look at that. So satisfying. So satisfying. Yeah, he's not sleeping. Alright, chat. There I go. Yep. Alright, well, I know I only started streaming like an hour ago, but my son does not want to nap, and he takes priority. So we're going to have to call this one over a little early. So I will be streaming again Wednesday. So this week, it's going to be Wednesday, or Monday today, and then Wednesday and Friday is what I'm streaming. So around the same time in the afternoon, as long as my son naps, I may have to play around with that a little bit more if he's not going to be napping, but we'll see. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will